What's going on, Screen Rant? It's Liam Crowley here at South by Southwest, and I'm here with the team behind the new film, Surviving Earth. Guys, I feel like we should have some tissues for this one. If we're really going to dissect this piece, thank you guys for both being here.
Yeah, hi, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, really happy to be here.
Excited to talk about this movie. Thea, you have a personal connection to this story, bringing it to life. Every morning when I walk to the gym in Brooklyn, there is a mural I pass, and it says, "The healing power of art." And every time I see that message, it like resonates a little bit more. And every time I see a film, and every time I consume a song or a piece of media, that message like really hits home. For someone who's creating this art, how do you feel that art helps you heal?
Good question. I think it helps me heal every day in different ways. I think just by the action of propelling yourself forward in order to create something kind of gets you out of any rut that you may be in. I think it helps you to understand and process emotions and questions that you may have had about whatever the thing is. I think, yeah, it gives you a drive and it gives you something to look forward to, and
Yeah, very, very beautifully said. Sophie, we're dealing with real people in this movie, Surviving Earth. And I know that there was some kind of back and forth between how Vlad was going to be portrayed when it came to honoring the real person, while also having Vlad, the actor, take it in his own unique spin. Can you kind of talk to me about the creative balance you guys were able to find when it came to portraying these real life people?
Yeah, so finding Vlad was actually the hardest role to cast, and we looked for him for about, I'd say, 2 years. We looked at every single Balkan man there ever was of that age. And because Vlad, when I read the script, Vlad, it was the character of Vlad, regardless of whether he's real or not. And I think because he's real, he was one of the best characters I've ever read in terms of how he bounced off the page. And he's so multifaceted and there's so many layers to him. So trying to find an actor that could do all of those was really, really hard. And I think what we let go of was looks. Like Slavko looks nothing like the real life Vlad, but he does encapture sort of like a chaotic charm and also like this deep sensitivity and this sort of creative, like frenetic energy. And he gets all of that. And I think we really had to honor not necessarily who Vlad was really, but who he was on the page, which it was who he was in real life. And it was just getting somebody that could do all of that.
Wow, very beautifully said. My favorite part about a film festival like South by is on my plate, I have a lot of films to watch. So I go in completely blind to everything I watch. I'm like, I'll catch up on the production notes later. I'll do the research later. Let me watch the film first, and I have no idea what it's about. When I see a film called Surviving Earth, I thought it was going to be very different than the story
Everyone
we got.
thinks it's going to be a sci-fi.
Yeah. Where did the title come from?
it came from a poem that I wrote about my dad. And the line was, I could teach you how to save yourself, how to survive Earth when the hands that spun you have returned to clay. And so I took the Survive Earth bit, and yeah, it became the title of the film.
It's a really beautiful poem.
And I think that we're all just surviving Earth, and yeah, some of us survive longer than others.
Did you write the poem before or after making the movie?
Before, a long time before.
Okay, so is it like kind of safe to say that this movie is like an expanded version of that poem?
No, but I guess it's the same thing going back to like how art can be healing, and what we were speaking about earlier. I guess it's all kind of part of that bigger concept, and I've made lots of different things that fit into that scope. So, yeah.
It's always interesting to see where like the first domino falls for a story, because when you eventually do make the story, that's not necessarily the starting point, you know, something else could have inspired it. I was reading also one of the real life people that this film tackles, Misko. He passed away while production was ongoing, while you were writing the script. Everything that is made artistically, there's a purpose behind it. There's a why. Sometimes it's just to appease fans. Sometimes it's to tell a really personal story. It's clear that this story was really personal for you going in. How did the why change when something like that happens, when it kind of becomes even more of a tribute piece than it already is?
Yeah, I think it just kind of, he actually got to read one of the early drafts, and he really loved the script. before he died, and I'm quite in contact with his daughter and all of those things, and I think it just like it adds to the legacy of the stories that we all leave behind. And I think for me that's the biggest takeaway of the film, is like, what have you left behind, you know, and like all the beauty and all the people and all the lives that you have touched. And I think having another person that was represented pass away, it just made it all the more important to tell for me.
I feel like we're really embodying the healing power of art right now in this interview. I feel like we're having a therapy session. I'll wrap with this, guys. Like, this film made me feel, I don't want to say hollow because it sounds so negative, but like I said, it made me want to hold my loved ones tighter. It made me want to be there for my people. What do you hope audiences who are going to see this film for the first time at South by this weekend, what do you hope they take away from it?
I think the element of addiction, like most of the creative team know or have a family member that is an addict. And I think what is really important, I think this really humanizes addiction and shows the complexities of it and shows the humans beyond that. And I hope that humanizes addicts worldwide and sees their creativity and the beauty, you know, all of the beauty beyond that. I'd like people to be left with that feeling.
Anything else to add?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's a very important aspect of it for me too. And I think, yeah, just, I guess, just remembering to share love while we're all still here, and, you know, give people their flowers when you see them, as much as you can.
I feel like we're all healing on this interview right now.
We're about to cry.
This is a great, like, you know, post-screening dissection. This is fantastic, guys. Seriously though, I know it's always it's a tall order to put your personal stories on display like this. So you should be very proud that you were able to tell this story, and I think audiences are gonna take exactly what you want them to take away from it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.